and welcome to the tutorial for the Christmas cookie recipe album. And of course it had other things in there like hot cocoa mixes and hot toddies, fun things like that for the holidays. To get started, I used the Artisan Green cardstock. It's just gorgeous. And I did start with 37 sheets of paper. And we'll probably use them all. So you'll need 37 sheets of 12 by 12. And I will be using the Jingle coordinating cardstock packet, and of course Jingle. And I chose Jingle for this project, if you haven't already seen it, because it is absolutely perfect. There's our hot cocoa and marshmallows for a Christmas recipe album, Gingerbread Houses and candy cane, lots of fun stuff that will just be great for Christmas cooking. So we have our gingerbread cookies here, just fun stuff. So I used one collection pack, one 12 by 12 paper pad, of course the sticker sheets. And then to get started, I already did my 3 sets. We need 4 sets. Now this is a different album. It has the 4 actual pages than the inside flap that has that waterfall. But our accordion pockets on each page that are 4 by 6.5, so that, or they're 7. So that they'll hold our recipe cards, and on each page you'll have this to put in your recipes. And the nice thing is you only need 1 piece of cardstock. Well, not even a full thing of the cardstock. We only cover the front. And so I did 9 of them, but we need 12 all together. So I saved the last 3 to do on camera. You need 12 8 by 8 sheets of cardstock. I'm going to score the first one, and this is where you can stop, and you can stop the video, go ahead and do your other 11, and then continue on. So you're going to put this in the 8. It's 8 by 8, so it's square. We'll be scoring only on an 8-inch side. We're going to score 1/2 inch. We're going to turn this to the other side and score it 4 inches. Then we're going to turn and score at 1/2. You'll need to do that to all 12 pieces. Then you're going to take the piece you just scored, and we're going to fold in half at that 4-inch score line. Now, a little tip here. Bring it together. Don't just lay it down and score. I can guarantee they won't be even. You can already see it's not. Hold those tight and then score. You'll have to just let the paper move so that you have it perfectly even at the top. And let's go ahead and burnish the sides. On those 1/2-inch score lines. Making sure you do want nice tight creases. Then I'm going to fold this in half, like so, with your scissors. So this is the bottom, this is the closed end, this is the open end. You want to just cut those off. Okay, and one thing, I will also cut this way because it works, but on this, you really do want to start at the score line and cut up. And while we have these together, we're just going to miter these corners. Even though we're going to be cutting one side off, it just makes it so I'm there, I cut. Yes, we're going to cut this off. So this side facing you, I just fold these in, and what we're going to do, you have that mountain score line, and I like to cut it off. And you're going to cut to the inside. You do want this back piece a hair smaller because we want it to fit underneath here. So turn it over if that's easier for you. See, I cut off that mountain area so it's not even there, which gets rid of it, and it doesn't make your page bulky. And then when you fold this up, it should fit. This is the back. So don't worry, you're going to see how it's a little bit shorter there? That's okay, it doesn't show. You know, I have my dogs down here. They're actually sleeping. But I can always tell when they've had a new dog food. Without getting into details, it's like, oh, not while I'm recording. The new dog food is kicking in. And there is our first pocket. And you do want it like that because we want these to be able to hold a lot of recipes. So we're going to do it again. Match the top. Then the 1/2 inch sides. So I stay in camera. Okay, then open and just fold that in half with these on the outside. Then when you open this, I just fold that in. Cut straight up. And that will give the exact spot of what you need to be cutting off so that it fits. And this is such a fun little gift to make. And it's really fun when you get it started and get it finished in time. Okay. And our third one. This is for me, my 12th one. And don't be afraid if you're using the artisan cardstock to burnish it. You're not going to damage the paper. I mean, unless you poke a hole through it, you won't damage the paper. Okay, bring these together. Cut those right off. And your scissors should fit perfectly within there. Check my fit. If for any reason these won't lay down nice, just open this back up and trim a little bit more off. But it should work almost 90%, 99% of the time. You will have that perfect fit. Take a moment just to move this mess so we don't get any of it into our project when we're gluing. This is our back. It doesn't matter which one, of course. They should all be the exact same size. Now, one thing you want to do, now I want to tell you, if you feel more comfortable measuring, it's about 1/4 inch from the sides, 1/4 inch in on each side, and about an inch, inch and a quarter from each side in, and about an inch from the top and the bottom. But all I do is in between here, I just make like a smiley face. I'm not even measuring it because it does not have to be exact here. We want to attach this to the front where there is no 1/2 inch score pieces. Use your table. That's why I like to use wet adhesive on this, because you have a few minutes to line them up. You want these straight. Let's repeat. Like I said, I'm not measuring, but you can. Doing some overlapping with the glue because I do want a little more hold there in the center. Set that aside to dry, and let me grab the very first one I made. So you should be able to go like this. The glue is fabulous. If you've ever made these using score tape, you know it starts to pull away. This won't with the art glitter glue. So there I have my 4 sets of accordion feet. You do want the sides. That's what gives us the accordion. And this is where you can stop the video and go ahead and get your 4 sets of your accordions made. Now the page construction. You'll want to cut 4 for the bases, 8.5 by 6.5. And then you want to cut 4 8x6. You only need 2 sheets of cardstock for this one because you can get 2 from 1 sheet. And you want to cut these a hair short of 8 and a hair short of 6. So I think I need to cut mine just a little shorter. And you'll see how much better of a fit you will get. Okay. Now when scoring the paper, I have to show you because I have some of mine done. We're going to have the side that's going to connect to our hinge, and then we have the top load tag. So it's very important that we have, well, for me, that I don't have anything to catch my tags on. So we're going to be putting it to the outside, or to the front of the back of each page. So to do that, you want to score on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 of an inch. And this is important, even though I'll show you why. Now we're going to turn it clockwise to the 8.5 inch side and score at 1 inch. Okay, we want our score lines here and here, to the right and to the bottom. Here's our hinge side and our pockets, the top load. So if I have it this way, then this is going to end up being on the front of my page. Probably wouldn't matter. I prefer it's on the back. I just like the fronts to be the plain. So if you do score to where you have it looking like this, this is going to be the front. These hinges right here are going to show on the front. So it is important you score on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2, turn clockwise, score on the 8.5 inch side at 1/2 of an inch. I'm going to go ahead and burnish our score lines. Now I'm going to cut. Don't cut through your score line. You want to keep that nice and square. I'm going to miter the top and the bottom. So now I can turn this over, and our 6 by 8 inch piece that we cut a hair short, we're going to match it up here, making sure it's level with the top. This is my top because we want them to be the same. And we're going to see if our hinges will fold over nicely without buckling the page. And if they do buckle the page, you'll want to trim this piece down that does not have the hinges. And as long as everything fits nice, when adding your adhesive, if you're using score tape, stay to the top on this. You'll see why. Let me show you. See right here, you have a little bit of the page showing through, not much, but just a hair, and it will glue it shut on that edge, and you really want as much expansion. Okay, now I want to realign my page here to make sure we're even at the top. And then I know my glue stays on the hinge and not on the page. There we have the top loading, and this is going to attach to the hinge side. And I have my pages, so you can go ahead and stop the camera, and you'll be able to make the rest of them, and then we'll go on to matting. Now here's the thing, we are going to mat the fronts of our pages and the back. We'll do what we're going to do on the back, of course, but we're going to mat the front of our accordion pockets. We don't have to do anything else. We're just going to mat the front, but we're not going to put them on the page till after it's in the book. You'll see the page is heavy, and it will be really hard to get it a nice, you know, hinge. So we'll just be matting everything. Then it will go into the book. We're going to do this a little different. So I cut the matting for the front of my pages. And then the matting that's going to go on my accordion was the same sheet, but I'll be using the back side. And see, that's right now it's not going to matter what page because we're not putting these down. So we'll be able to put them in a different order. Because I'm going to have my cookies first. This isn't going to be my first page, but it's just what's sitting here. So that's what we're going to do. So this one, front and back. So I used front, and then I'll use the back side. And you'll be able to notice these prints as we go along. So what I cut was the gingerbread houses. So that's actually going to be my front page. The back side is the snowflake. And then we have the holly with the red stripes. So it won't matter because we're going to put these all in a different order. But I did go ahead and pre-ink mine. And I did use the the Prima fruit punch. And I'll give you some secrets on a couple of the pages because I love the red ink, but I don't like a lot of the red ink. And we do have this in the store at Country Craft Creations. So on lighter pages like this one, I turn it over and I make sure I do the back of it. That way I get some of that red. But see, it's not overbearing. Now, if you like a lot, go ahead and do it on that front page. Totally up to you. I just like a little bit. So on the ones with prints like this one and the snowflakes, you can kind of see some, but it's not all over the paper because I did it on the back side where it's a little more all over the paper. So since I have all those inks, so your mat for the front is 5 7/8 by 7 7/8 for your pages. And I did cut my back ones. And they are 5 7/8 by 7 7/8. And what I did is I just cut the sheet in half. So this will be 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, and then the back side will be page 4. So I'm going to have the hot cocoa down. And the marshmallows will be on the pocket. And like I said, this is 5 7/8 by 7 7/8. And I'll give you the measurements for the accordion in just a moment. the accordion matting is 3 7/8 wide by 6 7/8 of an inch long. I like the green. I'm glad I chose the green. The brown would also look fabulous. Then after this is in the book, see how those will sit right there? Very cute, very cute. So I'll just start setting these to the side. Like I said, it doesn't matter because we'll be putting these in the order we want. It's the back side, somewhat, that will matter. This is the back side, so I'm going to put the red stripes, and you can reverse it if you prefer, or you can have them all match. And the gingerbread houses, so this is going to, I know, be my first page. So if you want them to be the same, so I'll use the snowflakes, which is the back of the paper. And page 4, I'm going to go this way because this is pretty bright. So I chose to go with a little bit less, and you probably can guess this is going to be the page for candy making. One thing that I noticed through the years, we get about 2 or 3 really good recipes that we like to use. To be honest with you, there's so many recipes that come out. After a while, it does get a little frustrating. So that's why I chose to do the 3 accordions, and then on the back side, where there's room for 3 to 5 more on each page, really once you get those favorite recipes through the years, you know, that's all you need. And it helps cut down the confusion of what to bake or what candies to make or what fudge to make. So for me, this will be ideal, and then I can put those favorite recipes in and hand it down in the family. And the reason I kept the pages all basically the same is I fell in love with this album after I made it. I really liked my design of this, and so I wanted to be able to make more because I want to give them for gifts for Christmas. When we get into every page is different, sometimes that's when we run into time constraints. But now with this sitting up and then the print, those recipe cards you can print out, then you'll be able to just add your recipe cards. And the back, as you noticed, was a pocket just for some cute little tags. And now we want to move on to being able, let's go ahead and mount the back, because we're going to, on the back of each one of these is the lay flat pocket. So the main thing is I want my first page. So I'm just going to take a quick look. So I'm going to do the Christmas cookies first, my Christmas, drinks, like the different hot chocolates and things we make. Then this one is going to be more like the appetizers and snacks. So this one definitely will be my candy, and it's going to be my very last one. So when I turn it over, there we go. That can give you an idea of what do you want, this page to look like, so it somewhat coordinates. So we have the bows. Let's check here. So we have, that will look great. Oh, and this will look great together. Okay, very good. I love how this paper just came together, I think, really nice. So let's keep our other pages handy. The nice thing, see, with the lay flat pocket, you can also get away with not matting this so far if you don't want to. This does make it quicker because our lay flat pocket, you're going to love making it. It does lay flat, and it makes it so you can put your cards in, but you don't have to worry about matting it after because it looks like it's all one piece. So let's go ahead and put our mats down, and this also saves that step, and it saves that, oh my God, did I just put my pockets on upside down? See how nice we hide those half inches? Oops. I need to use that magnet up there. Oh, you know what? These are stainless steel, so it won't work on that magnet. Okay. So we have our holly. I know I'm going to have Santa on the back, so I'm going to set him over there. Oh, no, we decided on snow globes with the holly. Sorry, I hope you guys don't hear me swallowing. It's really thirsty. And the little squigglies. and my Santa Claus. Okay, there's our 4 pages, and there is our 4 accordions. Next is our lay flat pocket. Okay, for your lay flat pocket, you need 4 sheets of 12 by 12. You're going to cut them down to the matting size, which is 7 7/8 by 9. No, by 12, sorry, 7 7/8 by 12. You want it to match the matting side to side. You'll have a 3-inch piece left. You need that. Then we're going to put this in our scoreboard and score it 2 1/2 and 6 3/4. That's all. So how do you lose, oh, there it is. How do you lose your mat? Now we're going to fold up our score lines. Let me show you. Okay, this is my smaller. You'll see one is shorter than the other. This is going to sit right there. That will fold under. Now, this does a couple of different things that's really cool. You have 2 pockets for sure. You can make a 3rd. It depends on how you attach it to your album. Then when we put this down in our book, that's our hinge side. So this is the side we're going to leave open. Then we have a place for that tag. This is going to become another pocket that goes all the way through. So it's really cool. And it lays flat. There's no gussets. No worrying about, did I put it on upside down? Are my gussets straight? I just love this so much better. And I pre-cut a bunch of paper. So let me give you your sizes. You need 2 strips that are going to be, because they're 1/8 of an inch shorter. So they're going to be 7 3/4. You need 2 inches, 2 of those for each pocket. And then you need one that's 7 3/4 by 2 1/2. And I did, this is where the coordinating cardstock comes in. So I just cut a bunch of strips all together. And it's a good way also to use your scraps. And then I did some more. So what you want to do is, first of all, this is my page 1 with the houses. And my coffee cup's going to be next door. So I wouldn't want to use any of the pink. See, there's some pink in the candy. But I don't think it would look very good. Because this is going to go down right on our mat. So you can go through your papers and decide what you would like to mat it with. So that's 2 1/2. I mean, that's 2 inches. See, we didn't have, it doesn't have to be all the way down here. It doesn't really have to be all the way down either, your matting on your page. But like I explained earlier, that was just quicker. Then my 2 1/2 inch strips. Let me measure this. 2 1/2. Maybe it's not supposed to be 2 1/2. Only needs to be 2 1/8. So, sorry, it's 2 1/8, not 2 1/2. So that's a very easy fix for the bottom. And you can do them all the same color. And this is one we didn't use it. It's the one that has the Santa Claus, but we're going to mat. See, we'll mat this first. Maybe I'll put this up here. And then let's use, I can't get a hold of it. So we've got some blue there. Trying to break up all the browns, all the reds and greens here for my pocket. You really don't see it because also we're going to be putting tags in there. So once you decide where you want everything to go, so 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 1/8 of an inch. First we want to go ahead and ink our edges. Like I mentioned before, see, I don't want a lot of ink, so I'm going to turn it over. See, a lot of the inking is going to go there. You'll get just the edges a little bit to give it some color and to cover up that white core. Same here, I'm going to turn it over. I don't want a lot of red on the front. And I want some. And really, this doesn't show too much of a core, but it just looks better all inked. Same here, I'll turn it over. And then I have my red inking on the edge, but I don't have a lot on the front. I like to mat this one first, my center section, and we went with the blue. See, it's not going to cover the whole thing, and that's okay. It doesn't need to. Even though we're going to mat this, I want you to go ahead and make the other 4 off. I won't, you can make them off camera. I will come back on camera and we'll mat them, and I'll make my other 4 or other 3. So you're going to make a 7 7/8 by 12. You're going to score it 2 1/2, 6 3/4. Then this is the 3-inch piece. This is your smaller piece. So the bottom is going to be your 2. The top is 2 1/2. This one comes out to be 2 1/8. So you need this 2 1/8 at the bottom. Or it's 2 1/4, sorry, but we cut the mat. Now this piece is going to lay there, and we're going to fold this up on top of it. So again, let's make sure it's straight. Adhesive to the sides. Oh, and one other thing, you can do a decorative edge punch on these. Only, well, this one and that one you can. This one goes down. And I'm going to go ahead and mat this one before we adhere this piece, and that's all the wording. And I'll go ahead and adhere the pocket when we're done, just in case you want to keep working on and want to do your own matting, or maybe you're using something different. So you don't want to see what I'm doing and using. Okay, now if you notice, I have some yelling kids in the background. It's 1 3/4. So we have to mark 1 3/4 if you want. Up is where the glue is going to be. So I have my ruler here. 1 3/4 up is where I'm going to add my adhesive. Oh yeah, we're ready. So 1 3/4 on the edge from the bottom, because you don't want to get it, and if you have to wipe it, that's fine, because you want to make this so it'll go all the way through. Making sure that's open. then you can mat the bottom. Oh, no, I'm using this side. Oops, I thought I saw that red ink. Oh, I got red ink on my bottle. I'm sorry, I've never found red ink that doesn't smear. Prima's inks are pretty good for not smearing, but it's red. What can you do? Our pocket's all made, and it's ready to put down. Now we're going to put this down. Now this is what you want to decide. Do you want the top to be a pocket? Do you just want 2 pockets? Totally up to you. And I will have that top one also as a pocket. So what you want to do is just put your adhesive on the 3 sides. Okay? Match it to your matting, not your page. So everything's asymmetrical here. Except for there, I got a little over, I noticed. Then it sits at the bottom of your page. One thing I like to do, just for a few minutes while it's drying, if you have clothespins, they're great. Oh, they're great for those corners, especially when it's so thick. Okay, now let that dry, and if you want to go ahead and make the rest of your pockets, the 6 by 12, cut it not or 6 by 9, score it 2.5 and 6 3/4. Okay, this is my last pocket that's drying, and this is the Santa Claus, so I'll go through and show you the matting. On the last page where we put Santa Claus, then I just used the cocoa, hot cocoa and the marshmallows, and that wording from that very first page. Those are drying. So page 1, we did together on camera. Page 2, the back. So I used, again, some more of that cute, he knows if you've been bad or good. It's the song, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, stripes. And I did that so it would match. And then on the back of here, so I did the snow globes. I used some of the blue from our spectrum papers that match, and then also the red and white. And then on the back here, I used, see, I thought I used the spectrum pink somewhere. I guess I didn't. I'll be using it to map, though, because it's going to look really pretty in there. I did cut it. I guess I didn't use it. I know that off camera I messed up a pocket, so I did have to make another one. But just like that, I have my lay flat pockets done, and you can see you're going to have plenty of room. They're the perfect size. They never hang over the edge. Now the only thing left to do is, so this side where our hinge is, we want to close our pocket. This is where we have that cute long tag that goes through. But the side that is open here on the closed, we don't want to close it, of course, but we do back here with our art glue. Or if you're using scored tape, you can just put a piece down in there. And glue, it won't come out. So we just want to close that edge. Make sure you're closing it here on your hinge end. And then also, this will happen sometimes. You'll get some glue on there and it will end up there, closing the pocket. Just put your bone folder in there, twist it, and it will pop. It just came through from my adhering my pockets down. Whoops, I just pulled that off. That wasn't good. Make sure I didn't pull that edge up. I did not. Back side again on the hinge side. sure the other side is not. Nope, it's open and free. You can do this down, put it down before you, I mean, you can glue it shut before you put it down. I don't, because I've accidentally glued the wrong end shut, and then it's kind of hard to use it by the hinge side is the only thing. You really need this open edge for that. Again, on my hinge side, making sure it's open. Yep. Okay, and we are going to move now to the cover. So this is the page tutorial, and the cover tutorial will be video number 2, so that you don't have to have it all in sequence going at the same time. So this is page number 1 to our recipe album, video number 1, and I'll see you on the second video.